What up, my beautiful African family? It's your man Theo E.J. Wilson, aka Brother Tej, here at African Diaspora News Network. And these Somalians is catching hell right now. Oh my gosh, man. It's just one incident after another. And the latest incident is from a 20-year-old Somalian, Somali-American, shall we say, citizen of Minnesota. He goes by Mubashir. And check out what he has to say about what happened to him when the ICE agent ran up and he was essentially body snatched off the street. Check this out.
And I never expected to be standing in front of all these cameras and microphones. But what happened to me cannot stay quiet. What happened to me was unjust, uncalled for. I was simply on my lunch break. I literally went downstairs from my building. I wasn't even outside for mere seconds before I seen a masked person running at me full speed. He tackled me, pushed me inside the restaurant, like as you can see in the video. I told him I'm a U.S. citizen, what is going on? He didn't seem to care. He dragged me outside through the snow while I was handcuffed, restrained, helpless, and he pushed me to the ground and he put me in a chokehold. That was very uncalled for. I thought I got really hurt. And after that, they put me inside the vehicle. And they asked me, we have to verify if you're a U.S. citizen because I believe you're an illegal citizen because you ran from me. But as you can see in the videos that will be released, I'm simply just standing still. I asked them, okay, they said, let me take a picture of you to scan your face to see if you're a U.S. citizen. I declined because how will a picture prove I'm a U.S. citizen? I told him I have my passport. It's in my phone. Can I open and show you? He declined. I told him, can I give you my name and my date of birth? He declined because they turned off my phone. They turned off my location. They don't, you don't know where you're at. So I asked them, can you take me back to where you picked me up from? They said, no, you have to walk in the snow.
Just ran up on him right off the street, body snatched him, made this dude disappear. He later goes on to say how, he had to call his parents and they finally found him. And a lot of people don't get found. But Kristi Noem just testified before Congress that no American citizen's been grabbed up and deported. We know that this is not the case. And however you feel about immigration, however you feel about folks who are undocumented, that is out of the window when it comes to this discussion. This is an American citizen. This is an American citizen who was racially profiled and abused and othered. And as a black man in America, that bothers me. And it should bother all of y'all, especially my brothers and sisters who are actually of the foundational lineages. And I'm going to tell you why. You see, what's interesting about these cases about African immigrants being mistreated is the fact that you see that the beast that we know so well still feels like he needs somebody to beat up on. And it's an interesting testament about how if they could give us this smoke, they would give us this smoke. When they tried to give us this smoke, we gave them smoke back. I don't know if y'all remember, but when the white supremacists showed up in Ohio, I believe it was just outside of Cincinnati, them brothers and sisters showed up with the long rifles outside like, yo, we ain't playing none of this, right? What I feel is very important, if you are African immigrant, listening to the sound of my voice right now here on the African Diaspora News Network, any talk of denigrating and looking down on Black Americans, you do so at your own peril. And the reason is because we got the tools, tactics, and techniques to deal with this monster, to deal with this tyranny that you facing right now. Had these groups been deeper aligned with Black American communities, they would have seen that we have a wealth of resources on how to deal with overt in-your-face racism. That's part of the deterrent that has the beast directing its energy to y'all. We've had a lot of Somalians, a lot of East Africans, not all, because there's no blanket statement that covers everybody's reality. But I've seen a lot of East Africans talking about how they're not Black, how they are anything but, how Black is a colonial term. Why did we accept it? Why did we allow that thing that was put on us by white supremacists to identify who we are? And my retort to them is, I've heard a lot of y'all refer to yourselves as dark-skinned Caucasians. That's also a term invented by a white supremacist, specifically Egyptologist Carl Philip Lepsius, who theorized that the kingdom of Nubia could not have been built by black folks. It had to have been built by dark-skinned Caucasians, right? The term Ethiopia itself is actually a Greek word. Greek word Aethiopes is where the word Ethiopian come from. And so Somalians also have a lot of that. Not all of them. I've seen Somalians claim the blackness that is denoting African identity and African descendant identity. But this is the wake-up call. This is the wake-up call that no matter what tribal designation that you feel that is appropriately your identifier, in the American context of race, hierarchy, and caste, you have inherited the black caste system of America, right? And this is something that we don't talk enough about. Isabella Wilkerson wrote a great book called Caste, The Origin of Our Discontent. Sister Ava DuVernay made a movie about it called Origin. And we talk about caste. Caste is something that you're born into that you can't marry out of. And a lot of Africans come over here not understanding that regardless of how they want to self-define, they are at a power disadvantage when it comes to white supremacists. And they had better align with the people who know this caste system the best. So what I hope happens from this is that, number one, we get some checks and balances on ICE because they out of control. Number two, Black Americans, look what they would do to you if they could. But they can't, so they don't. They redirecting their power, right? Look what they would actually try to flex on us if we didn't have the deterrence. And third, African immigrants, you better align yourself with Black Americans. We have the tools, tactics, techniques, and energy to fight the tyranny that you are dealing with. Because if you don't and say, oh, I'm not Black, it's not that you don't have a right to be Somali. Not that you don't have the right to be Ethiopian. Not that you don't have the right to identify whatever perhaps West or Central African tribe that you come from. It's just that you misidentify and misunderstand the American caste system of race and the position that Blackness occupies that you happen to find yourself in right now today, living in America. And if you want any chance of breaking through that, you better align yourself with the folks who know how to fight it the best. Those of us from the foundational lineages, those of us who picked that cotton, who fought them civil rights battles, for you to come over here and feel comfortable, but you let the sweet taste fool you. You got lulled into a sense of security that simply wasn't there. And I don't blame y'all for that, though, because a lot of African immigrants, especially East African immigrants, get miseducated about America. They are not told nothing about slavery, Jim Crow, none of that, right? But here's the wake-up call. Here's the wake-up call. Study Black history. Get to know some Black American allies. Stop rejecting the understanding of what Blackness denotes and understand how we took the term Black and made it something powerful and something to be proud of. And that as long as you here, you might as well figure out how to build on that designation and understand this caste and align yourself with the folks who know how to fight through the system of white supremacy. That's just my thoughts on that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and tell me how y'all feel in the comment section. I do read them, though I don't always comment. This is the African Diaspora News Network, where we strive to bring you the news that affects the Black family the most. So why don't you download the app, like, follow, and share this video out. And if you like what I'm saying, you can follow me personally on YouTube at Theo Cyrus Rising. This is Theo E.J. Wilson, a.k.a. Brother Tej. I'll see y'all next time, or I'll saw you this time. Peace, peace.